In today's class, we will solve a few problem sums based on number systems which are of level 1. The first problem sum says that m and n are two coprimes. Then which of the following is or are true? Now we know that two numbers are called coprimes when they have only one common factor, and that is 1. If we factorize m, then it will have 1 as one of the factors and that number itself. And m, if it is a composite number, then m can be further factorized. Otherwise, if it is a prime number, then the second factor will be m itself. Similarly, when we will factorize n, then it will be 1 multiplied by n. I mean, one factor will be 1 and the other factor will be n if it is prime. And if it is a composite, then it can be further factorized. But since m and n are two coprimes, so 1 will be their common factor. Now between these two coprimes, if we take HCF, so HCF means highest common factor. Now here they have only one common factor, which is 1. So highest common factor will be 1. And if we take LCM, now as we know m and n are coprime, so between m and n there will be no more common factor. So their LCM will be simply multiplication or product of these two factors or numbers. Now if we look at the options, then the first option is LCM of m and n is what? Multiplication of those two numbers. So that is correct. HCF of m and n is 1. So that option is also correct. And the option C is both A and B are correct. That means for this problem our option will be C. Now the second problem sum says which of the following is or are true. The first option is root over 6 multiplied by root over 6 is an irrational number. So root over 6, if we assume that that is a variable or unknown variable x, then if we take the square of both the sides, then it will be 6, and on the right side it will be x square. So x square is equal to 6. Now if we perform the multiplication, that means root 6 multiplied by root 6. So what it will be? It will be x multiplied by x, that means x square. And x square is what? X square is 6, which is not an irrational number. So option A is not correct for us. Then option B, root over 4 multiplied by root over 25. Root over 4 means we know that is 2 and root over 25 is 5. So it will be, the product will be 10, which is a rational number. So option B is correct. And the third option is both A and B. That is not correct because A is not correct, and neither A nor B, because since B is correct for us, so the option D is also not applicable for us. So here the correct option will be option B. Now the third problem sum says that if two numbers are equal, then which one will be the correct option for us? Now if we take real examples, like if we take 10 as a number, so two numbers are equal means 10 and another 10. And if we perform HCF, then it will be one of the common factors is 2. So here it will have 5 and here also we will have 5. Now if we further divide by 5, then the other factors that will remain will be 1, 1. That means for 10, the factors are 1, 2, 5 and 10 itself. So between these two same numbers, if we take HCF, highest common factor, then highest common factor will be 10. And if we take the LCM, then that again will be 2 multiplied by 5, that means 10, that means that number itself. Now if we look at the options, their LCM is equal to their HCF. For this case, LCM and HCF both are equal, and that is equal to that number itself. So option A is correct. Option B, LCM is less than their HCF, not correct. Option C is their LCM is equal to 2 times their HCF, not correct. Option D is LCM is not equal to their HCF, not correct. And if we choose any two equal natural numbers, then always their HCF and LCM will be equal. So for us, the correct option is option A. Now the problem number 4, it says that A is equal to minus 1 to the power 2009. So A is equal to minus 1 to the power 2009. Now if we look this way, A is equal to minus 1 to the power 1, we know that value is 1. If we take A cube, then that is also minus 1 multiplied by minus 1 multiplied by minus 1. That means when the power is, we know that rule, when the power is odd, then if the base is minus 1, then the final value will be always minus 1 if the power is odd. And if the power is even, say a square, then minus 1, and here it will be square, so minus 1 will be multiplied by minus 1, so that will give us 1. So if the power is even, if the base is even minus 1, then always the final result will be plus 1. And when we will multiply these two, definitely that will give us minus 1. So here for the first case, a, the power is 2009, which is odd, so here the final value will be minus 1, final value of a, and b is minus 1 to the power 2010, which is even. So here the final value of b will be plus 1, and when we will multiply them, their final result will be minus 1. So for us the correct option is minus 1. Now the next problem sum says that root x, if root over x is a perfect square, then which of the following is or are true? So root over x, if it is a perfect square, that means we can take this way, that value is a square. So a square is a perfect square. Now the first option is x is a perfect square. So now if we take the square value of the left side, then it will become x. So x, and then at the same time we also have to take the square value of the right hand side. That means a square and then square of that, so it will be a to the power 4. So a to the power 4 is also a perfect square, because it is square of a square, which itself is a perfect square. Now the option B is x square is a perfect square. Now what we have to do, we have to take further square values of both the sides. So left hand side will become x square and right hand side will become a to the power 4 and then square of that, so a to the power 8, which is also a perfect square. That means option A is true for us, option B is also true for us, and option C, what it says, both A and B, and option D is neither A nor B, so option D is not correct. Means the option that we will choose is option C. Now we'll go to the next problem sum. It says cube root of 125 divided by 216 minus square root of 25 by 36. What will be that value? So 125, we know that value is actually 25 multiplied by 5, and 25 is again square of 5. So finally it can be written as cube of 5. And similarly 216, we know that is actually 36 multiplied by 6, and 36 is the square of 6. So finally it can be represented as cube of 6. So when we will take the cube root of 125 divided by 216, so 125 can be represented as cube of 5, and this is cube of 6 and then cube root of that. So what will happen, 5 by 6 and then cube of that we can say, and this is cube root. So finally it will be 5 divided by 6, then cube means 3, and this, since this is cube root, so it will be 1 by 3, that we know. So 3 will cancel each other, so what will remain is 5 by 6. And now if we take the square root of 25 by 36, 25 means square of 5 and 36 means square of 6, and this is square root. So further it can be written as 5 divided by 6, and this is square, and since this is square root, so it will be 1 by 2 here. So finally again it will be 5 by 6, and between these two numbers we are performing subtraction, and since both the numbers are same finally, so the result of subtraction will be 0. So here in this case the correct option will be C. Now going to the next problem sum, if the HCF of two numbers is 6 and product of two numbers is 360, then find the LCM of those numbers. Let's assume that the first number is M, and since HCF of both the numbers is 6, so 6, and let's assume that the product of the remaining factors of M is A. So it will be 6 multiplied by A. This way we can represent M. Now if we assume that the second number is N, and since again the HCF is 6, so it will be 6, and let's assume that the product of the remaining factors of the second number N is B. So N can be represented as 6 multiplied by B. Now what will be the product of these two numbers? Product value of these two numbers will be 6 multiplied by A and multiplied by 6 multiplied by B. So it will be 36AB. Now if we want to find the LCM, least common multiple, then what will be the least common multiple? So M is 6 multiplied by A, and between these two numbers 6 is common and the other factor is B. So what we will do is we will multiply M by B. Similarly for N it is 6 multiplied by B, and to find the common multiple, least common multiple, what we will do is we will multiply 6B by A. Now if we look at these two numbers or product, then we have all the common factors, and this is actually the least common multiple of the given numbers m and n. So here LCM of these two numbers will be 6ab. Now what is the product value given? It is 36ab that we have found, and that is equal to 360. So what will the value of ab then? It will be 360 divided by 36, it will be 10. And LCM is what? LCM is equal to 6ab. 6ab means 6 multiplied by ab, which is 10, so it will be 60. And this is one of the ways how we can solve this type of problem sum. So our option is option A. Now the next problem sum says that if m and n are two natural numbers, then which one will be correct for this ratio? And what is the ratio? LCM divided by HCF of those two numbers m and n. Here m and n are two natural numbers. Let's take one example of two natural numbers. Let's take the first number as 14 and the second number as 21. Now if we find HCF between these two, we know the factors for 14 are 2 and 7, and definitely 1 and 14, and for 21 they are 3 and 7. So if common factor is 7, so if we multiply by 7, then the remaining factors will be 2 here and 3 here. So what will be HCF then between these two numbers? It will be 7. LCM will be how much? 7 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. So 7 multiplied by 6. Now if we take the ratio of LCM and HCF, then it will be what? It will be 7 multiplied by 6 and then divided by 7. So it will be 6. And 6 is what? 6 is natural numbers. 6 is a rational number. 6 is a real number. 6 is an integer. So option A, what it is given, it is a natural number. 6 is a natural number, so correct. A rational number, definitely rational number, so this much is correct. Rational number which is not necessarily an integer, but 6 will be always integer. If we are performing between two natural numbers, then whatever will be those two natural numbers, always the ratio of LCM and HCF will be an integer. So option B is not correct because it has to be always an integer. Then third option is a real number which is not necessarily an integer. Definitely 6 is real number, but it is given not necessarily an integer, but it has to be always an integer, as I said, if we are performing between two natural numbers. So option B and C are not correct. Then option D is an irrational number. 6 is not an irrational number because 6 can be represented as a ratio of 6 and 1, P by Q in that format. So in our case, option A will be the correct option. Now the next problem sum says that x is the smallest 4-digit number formed by all the digits 0, 1, 2 and 3, and find x. So the given digits are 0, 1, 2, 3. First criteria is we have to form a 4-digit number by taking all the digits. So we have to take all the digits. We cannot miss or repeat any one of them. And we have to form at the same time 4-digit number. So in this type of problem where we have to find the smallest number, what we will do, we will arrange the digits in ascending order. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Now if we place 0 at the first position, then what happens is this number is no more a 4-digit number, rather it is a 3-digit number. So what we have to do is we will swap the positions of these two digits, and we will not swap with 2 or 3 because that will not give us the smallest 4-digit number, because the third criteria is smallest number we have to form. So finally the smallest 4-digit number that we can form by considering all these digits will be 1023. So for this case the correct option will be 1023. Now the next and the last problem says that find the least natural number which when divided by 6, 9, 12 and 18 leaves no remainders. That means we have to find that natural number, least natural number, when that will be divided by 6, 9, 12, 18, there will be no remainders. So 6, 9, 12 and 18 will be actually the factors of that number which we need to find, and that number will be the multiple of these four numbers, and that will be the least multiple. So basically what we have to do is, for this type of problem, we have to find the LCM, least common multiple. And we know the rule of finding LCM of the given numbers, and here the LCM for these four numbers is 36. So for us the correct option will be 36, which is option A. In the next class, we will solve a few more problem sums of level 1 based on number systems. Till then, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.